Hi, generators, operators, destroyers. So today I would like to start slowly getting you into my world and my visions and my dreams. I've been having visions in my dreams for like many years, but my dreams have really been for me. Like it wasn't even visions that for a while. It was just dreams that were for me. And like what I needed to take heed to in the future just for me. It wasn't until I finished my sabbatical where I was asked in my dream, they was like, okay, are you ready to see now? And I was like, hell yeah, I'm ready to see. And then when I started to see, I said, oh my God, I'm a little scared. I'm a little shook when I'm seeing in the world. So when I start telling you my visions and my dreams, I'm not doing it to scare you guys. But I'm going to just let you know that nothing is coming good with 2026. I just don't see it in everything that I'm seeing. And my visions are very sporadic. I believe that spirit is protecting me in some way, shape, or form from seeing that. But instead of me having more dreams and visions of myself, it's in people, it's on the earth, and it's on the so-called future. And the reason why I say so-called future is because I have an issue with time. I don't understand the concept of time, and I feel like time is just moving way too fast now. And how Spirit has explained to me was that the past, the present, and the future are all one and the same, but it can be changed. And I said, it can be changed. I could change my fate. One of my favorite movies is The Butterfly Effect. So when I started having visions, I started writing down everything. Look at this. I started writing down everything. And I also record, but the best recorder is my brain. So that's why I like to always have a strong mind and take heed, because if you don't remember, back in the big C, back in 2020, anybody that has had it, and I've had it several times, the one of the symptoms was a struggle with memory. So I remember for a long time that I was struggling with my memory, was trying to remember, and I realized that that was a tactic of war on the generator operator destroyer. So now that I'm back and I got the light again, I got knocked into some sense. I remember in a dream realm, I was asked, I said, okay, now am I ready to see? And then that's when I started having deep visions, deep dreams about what's about to happen in the world, the prophecies. I've also talked to the creatures of the world. Like I said, I deal with all things light and dark. But what I know now is that we are headed into a world where things is going to start looking real spooky. I hate to say it like that. I hate to be really negative, but this is another reason why I created the channel, why it's really important for you to have a strong mind. Because once things start to fall and your ego has been attached to these artificial constructs, these illusions, you are going to lose your mind. This is why the channel was created, for you to detach from the program and start going within. I am a firm believer that all people with light have gifts. So yes, I can see things beyond this realm, but I believe that we all have it. But we all have it when we wake up. So I want to tell you my most recent one, and it's about the Somalians. I had it like last night. Usually when I have a vision, it's during the witching hours. And the witching hours is between 1 to 3. Sometimes I stay up in the middle of the night because that's when I get real creative, melanin, okay? But before I go to sleep, I'll sometimes, when you're counting sheep or you rubbing your feet together, that drowsiness feeling that you get before you go dark and you enter into the dream world? Well, before everything goes dark to me and I have that drowsiness feeling, I have the vision, and the vision goes poof. The better yet to how I explain it, in the 1800s when people, they got their picture done and the man behind the picture, he's like this, poof. That's how it is when in my brain. And I'll see my vision in the form of like a movie or a canvas, like a canvas painting. And the recent one that I had was of the Somalians. I don't know much about the Somalians. I'm not in the Somalian world. I'm not even into the politics. But Somalians getting their ass handed, okay? Handed. The only thing that I remember seeing was about them daycares. Work with me. If I'm not mistaken, there was a man that has been on the news saying that there's fraud and that there's no children in these so-called daycares. But they got tons of daycares, but somehow they ain't never seen children go into them, and that they've been cooking the books. Let me just tell you one thing about these foreigners: they're gonna do some fraud, and they real good at it. Okay, but this is how I've seen it. When I had the vision, spirit, and when I say spirit, I say like God, the Great Mother, or sometimes I've seen it as my higher consciousness just talking to my lower consciousness. And so I seen the vision of two men in Maryland, not Minnesota, because I know they're in Minnesota predominantly, but I seen these two men in a meeting room. And the meeting room was like a fairly sized community room, not too small, not too big, and it had those rows of chairs everywhere, but it was a dim setting in a remote location. And on the left side, I seen a Caucasian male. On the right side, I see that Somalian man. I'm looking at the features. I say, I know that's a Somalian. And the Caucasian man, he goes to the Somalian, and he points to him. He said, "We let you have all these funds in Maryland?" And so I kind of stopped the vision because it happened so sporadic. Like, I don't know what the heck I'm looking at. So I asked Spirit, I'm like, who is this? It was like the immigrants. I said, let's be specific. Like, what does this have to do with? They was like Somalians. You know that man that you seen when you was looking at them daycares? He's the forefront for something that's going to happen, that's big, that the world is going to see. And I'm like, explain, because they look like they're arguing about money. And I said, what does the money have to do about these daycares? Spirit said containers. Containers. I'm like, okay, let me just, okay, what are we talking about? Because we're talking about food, we talking about some blankets, something getting sent about. No, children. I said, oh God. Oh God. So the two men were fighting. The area, the room looked dim. It looked like they just met up probably in the middle of the night or maybe after a meeting. I'm not for sure. I don't know the white man's name. I don't know the Somalian's man name, but that white man is a politician. I know that for like in my spiritual realm, factual brain, okay? I know that's a politician. Right side, Somalian man, he got some money, but he's like the higher authority. He's like the roll call for all the Somalian people. I mean, whoever the leader of the Somalian is, I don't know who the name is. It's that man. I'm looking at them and they going at it and they fighting together. Whatever money that the Somalians are doing for these politicians, and I'm not even gonna just say politicians because we know when it comes to the trafficking industry that it's a global thing. So politicians, Somalians are just remember, it's just a small thing compared to a broad spectrum of people who are in it. I mean, even your next door neighbor, you never know, is in that. So when I seen them fighting and Spirit told me that they were arguing about money in containers, that scene from the meeting ended and it showed me a port. And then I seen a container. I believe the container was like red. And it was one of them shipping things. They put the thing down. A whole bunch of men, they lifted it. And lo and behold, it was a whole bunch of women and children. Men, I seen a whole bunch of men too. Like the men was in the back. The women were holding the babies. toddlers running around. I mean, it looked hot and musty. It just looked real rank. There's no food. There's nothing there. It's just nothing but people. I don't know how they survived that whole shipment, but I know that's a real thing. I know for sure. I've watched a whole bunch of movies, baby. I know that's a real thing. I feel really sad for the people who's getting trafficked, but but Spirit told me, I was like, okay, what's going on with these men? These grown looking men. They look real angry, real hungry. They don't even look like they're from this earth. And they said the men on the back was prisoners of war. Prisoners of war. Interesting. And Spirit was like, the children and the women. And I seen teenagers. I seen a whole bunch of male teenagers. Those are the trafficked ones. The men, the older men, they're going to put to work. They're going to put the work over here. Okay? Wherever they about to do it, they about to do it, and they're going to put them wherever they can, and they're going to blend them in and make them look like black folks. Okay? So, when I seen the meeting, I seen the argument with the politician, I started digging and researching what was going on, because I'm not into that. I'm not into politics. I'm not into this whole Somalian thing, this ICE thing. I acknowledge it. I know it's there. It makes my brain hurt just thinking about it. But once I start having visions about it, that means that the Great Mother, that means the spirit that awakens on this earth, wants people who can see to start seeing now. Because that man that you seen at the daycare, he's the forefront for the bigger operation, okay? The media is going to start blaming the Somalians for every goddamn thing, okay? Everything. But remember, just like 1984, they're just the forefront. They want you to look over here, look over there, look down here, there, everywhere. But you're not looking for the people in the background, the ones that's funding them, okay? They might look like you, but they not you, okay? So if I'm not mistaken, a politician, what's his name? Tim Walker. He resigned from an election. He's still in office, but he resigned. Watch out for him. Watch out for the dude that owns them daycares. Watch out for all of the men that owns the daycares. They're going to start getting locked up. I see a whole bunch of Somalian men just getting locked the hell up. Now, if you're a woman and you really not into that, if you're a woman and you're not into that, and you're dealing with a lot of abuse, because I heard like the Somalia community got a whole bunch of abuse that's going on. But if you depend on a man for money, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to start making something shake now, because they're going to start locking them up. Okay? They're going to give them the Kamala special for sure. I see it. So understand, when it looks at the trafficking industry, it's very sad. It's very sad. But your people, even if you are a foreigner, you an immigrant, your people are selling you out for a small price. The price of life is really cheap. But I see a whole bunch of people doing evil, wicked things to the women and children. And the men are going to be put to work. That's it. Work. AKA new slavery. So that is the end of my vision for the Somalian people. The daycares are a front. Yes, the fraud is happening. But the daycare is just to help with trafficking. Okay? The daycare is to help cook the books. And it's a whole lot of money in it, baby. A whole lot. I see the Somalian people at the parties just dancing with the trafficking money. So as that trafficking check, they're like, yes, that trafficking check hit. Ooh, spooky, spooky. Cover up your cameras. Cover up your cameras. 2026, baby. Let me tell you about another vision that I had. This happened all last night, between, again, the witching hours. The reason why I say cover up your cameras is because I entered into the astral world, And I went to go meet one of my, I call it Akashic friends, okay? These friends are amongst all around the globe, okay? There's only of a few of them because they have woken up out of the program. They have regular jobs, but understand that they're working these jobs to bring back information to the spiritual realm. I am too. So when I don't understand something or I need assistance from somebody on the spiritual realm, I bring it back to the physical realm. So we all help each other, okay? And I swear it's a good 2 weeks that we meet up and we talk. Swear. Can't explain it. People, you guys keep asking me questions about my visions or my dreams. I can't explain it because it's just you gotta be there. So if this is happening to you or something similar, we are doing the work on the spiritual realm. You're not alone. We just are in different parts of the world, different states, continents, but we're doing the work. So I was having an issue, and I go to one of my Akashic friends. She looked just like Zoe Zaldana, real pretty girl. Knock on her apartment door. She got them soldier boots on. She got that backpack on. And I said, hey, I need some assistance. Can you help me? She's, oh, yeah, absolutely. One moment, she grabs her bag. I swear she looked just like Zoe Saldana. I hope I'm saying her name right. I like her work. We walk back to my apartment. She looks at my apartment and she grabs some tape out of her bag. And it's a black tape. I've never seen a tape like this, but I'm assuming the tape doesn't penetrate like light. I've never seen this tape before. If anybody has seen a tape, please let me know. She goes around and she says, before we talk, I gotta cover up all the cameras. I said, I ain't got no, cameras up in here. And she was like, no, there's cameras on the TV. There's cameras on your laptop, your phone. She just constantly was looking around my apartment. I just seen her tape the all around that edge of the TV. I'm looking at my TV right now. I seen her just take that tape, bite it off, cover it up, tape it, bite it off, cover it up. You could barely see my TV when she was doing it. She looked at my laptop, started covering up everything, all the outer edges of the laptop. At first I was like, okay, I thought the cameras were on like the bottom of like the TV. She was like, no, it's been real meticulous and done. She was like, there's just cameras everywhere. Cover up the entire screen. She took my phone. She grabbed my phone. She wrapped it with this tape. Then we started talking. And so Spirit was like, okay, I needed you to see that because they're going to start revving up the surveillance. And she was like, I'm letting you know it's because they got to video you naked. I said, naked? And showed me the video. I said, yep, that's me. They didn't get my good side. If you gonna record me, get my good side. You know what I'm saying? But when I seen it, I kind of laughed because it's like, these people do all of this. I mean, they're looking at you through your phone. They're looking at you through your laptop, your TV, all day trying to record you. And how I've seen it, passing around the videos to whatever perverts is out there, or just doing it just to keep tabs on you. And so the Spirit just basically wanted me to come back and see that is because they're going to rev up this surveillance like no other. Like, you think it's happening in your house. Like, when you get on the street, as soon as you get on the street in your car, they're going to just start turning on all them cameras everywhere you go. The best way I can kind of explain it is you watch that show Paradise. Boy, listen, that show, you know it's going to be a part 2, right? Stay tuned. Might need to start doing some reviews on it. But when I was in an apartment, she was taping up everything. I mean, she was going at it, okay? Miss Zoe, I mean, I don't know if that was her name or whatever, but she was going at it. She was covering up everything before we started talking. While she was doing that, I looked to the left. I have like a mini library. I look at my bookshelf. There's no books, but there's one book, and it says, Behold of a Pale Horse. Now, y'all, I've actually never read that book, but I've seen summaries and reviews of the book. Okay. And I watch a lot of lectures, podcasts. I've got the premise of what the book is. I've already known this is already happening. Show me, behold, a pale horse. Spirit was like, listen, I put you there at the right time to talk to her specifically because she's in the military. She already seen it. And she said that it's already been in the works for the past couple of years. 2026, they're going to start turning it up a notch. You are not going to have no privacy, baby. Those days are over. So you need to start preparing and covering up your laptops. Get the cases where you can cover up those camera screens. Because I used to work from home. We used to have them cover up things where you could just slide and cover up that camera spot. But how Spirit was telling me is like you might need to really start covering up the entire screen. When you sleeping, if you got like a TV, that's why I say get the TVs out of y'all face and y'all phone. When you're not using it, put it somewhere else or put it in your closet or in a far away room. But if you like sleep in front of the TV, it's running. I can see the tape recorder running. I can see the agents. Like if there's people, if there's actual people that they assign to you to watch you all day, which is get a life, baby, get a life. But if there's actual people that's watching you through the TVs, the phones all day, they're gonna rev it up a little bit. They're gonna rev it up a lot. It's gonna be all day surveillance at home, while you're walking on the street, in your car, all day. I mean, there's just really no privacy anymore. And I also see as well is when they start doing what you call it, when they start having no more cash. I see that too. Once you listen, I blame y'all for letting this happen. You let them take away your pennies, they're gonna start taking away the dimes, the quarters, and then the cash. Then next thing you know, all you can use is a card or something on your phone. All because you wanted everything fast. That's what I see. All because you wanted everything fast. What you think is really good for you, that will advance you, will just be your own demise. So anybody that truly does listen to me, after you finish your work, after you get off the phone, whatever you got to do, or whatever that you watch the TV, cover up the TVs, cover up the phone, cover up the laptops, take the watches off y'all wrist. You have to go incognito now. You need to start being a chameleon. Watch the show Paradise. Paradise will give you the keys. Okay, I'm back again. More visions. Okay, so when you open up a newspaper, if you're still a newspaper type of person, there's going to be a point in time where you open it and it's more than likely going to be on the right side of the paper. You're going to see this big old picture and it's going to say 100 tragic death victims, and the victims is troops. I zoomed in on the vision and it looked like American troops, and I seen one man kneeling, and while he's kneeling, he's in front of about 100 dead troops bodies. It looked kind of, I wouldn't say like deserted, like, but it just looks like an area where it's just nothing, and it's just 100 dead troop bodies. So whatever that they got planned as far as like war or being somewhere or in some country that they're not supposed to be, understand that y'all gonna get your ass handed to you real bad. For real bad. I can see that. So in the newspaper, you're gonna see 100 tragic death victims. I don't know what date it is. I don't know what time it is, but that's what I see. And it's troops, American troops. Then after that vision, it happened right after, and I see tragic airport incident, but it's in a newsroom, and I see a Caucasian woman. She's giving the news, and you see like a picture. You know how like they have a picture before they start the video of what's going on in the airport. I don't know what airport this is, but I see a whole bunch of people leaving their luggage and running in the airport. I mean, like deserting the airport. So whatever's happening, I don't know if it's like a crash or maybe they see them reptilians. You know that lady in the airport. She was like, "That's not real. That's not real." I can definitely see that for this specific incident. People gonna just start abandoning their luggage and just running in the airport, trying to get up out of there. Kind of reminds me of that Miami event at the shopping center. People started seeing something that they wasn't supposed to be seeing. Either that or like a crash. But my spirit, my heart says they're gonna be seeing exactly what that girl was seeing in that airport. That ain't real. That ain't real. So whatever technology that y'all got on these reptilians, it ain't working. The great mother said all that will fall. Thank you. Child, y'all, I got so many visions. I think before we wrap it up tonight, because I got so many to get through. So many. You know I'm resting, so I gotta get my beauty sleep or whatever. But this is probably the last one for the night, and I do plan on uploading them all. The vision shows me that the last election was in 2017. And then when I seen it, when the great mother or spirit God, whoever, when I see the vision, I see the gavel. When they, meetings adjourn, it's finished, it's done, it's written in stone. I see the gavel. And so it made me think about when I look at other people who talk just like me, or they talk about the world of events. You know that little thing where they say, "Oh, Trump is like the last president." I believe they've always have known that. I question my visions. I will literally telepathically say, "Is that real? Is that for sure?" And then that's when I seen the gavel. I seen the meeting. I seen everybody, the presidents and all of them. They all together sitting in the room. All the politicians. It was already written in stone for the major elite. So when people say Trump is the last president, and when's the next presidential election? That's not it. They've already made their decision in 2017. So this is why I say I have an issue with the concept of time. They might make you look forward to, what was it, 2028 or 2030 or whatever, when the next presidential election is. No, it's already been set in stone. I see the meeting, I see the gavel, I see the judges, I see like a treaty, like the little thing, scrolls or whatever. Maybe it's been done. Like the script was already written, and then after it was done, it was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna keep him, Trump. It's already set in stone. He's finished everything. Everybody else is just gonna be the forefront. Biden just reminds me of that person where you just put the batteries in a bag. Somebody that you take out the closet, and then you give him some AAA or something like that and put in his bag. He was just the forefront. It's always been Trump. So after I seen Trump and I seen that gavel, the end. So 2026, yeah, you're gonna start seeing that. You're gonna start, if y'all waiting for him to get out of a presidency, I just don't see that for him. I see that it's already just been written in stone that this is where he was supposed to be. This is where he agreed to. He agreed to play this script, his role. It's actually been something that's kind of been set in stone, his path, since he was like a child, a teen, like his mentors. They've been preparing him for this day for a very long time. You know what they say about mentors. But I don't want to go deep into that. I just know that he knows about it. He's playing his role. Other politicians are playing their role. And that's just it. It's something greater than him. It's something greater than those elite families. They're just doing the bidding for the people that are not of this planet. That's just it.